I remember when I bought my first combat car after passing my combat driving test. I got it for a really good deal from Combat Cars, but as I drove away from the showroom, I was quickly arrested for illegal modification of a road-legal automobile. Combat Cars is a 1984 Mega Drive game from Accolade with a bit of a confused concept. From the outside, it appears to be a vehicular combat game played from a top-down perspective, but really it's a pretty standard racing game that emphasises speed over weaponry. You see, the big issue with this game is that picking any character that doesn't have good top speed and acceleration basically dooms you from the start. You will not win races with good handling and use of automatic weaponry, you need to be going fast. It's actually a bit strange that the game even bothers to give you multiple characters to choose from, each with different stats, because you'll need to pick a character with good stats to stand a chance of winning races. If you can pick a character with good stats and a turbo as your special ability instead of a weapon, then you're absolutely laughing. Do not bother with weapons in this game called Combat Cars is what I'm saying. You'll have a better time, trust me. With that out of the way, Combat Cars is very much a game in the Micro Machines vein. You race around circuits at speeds a little too fast for what they've designed, that require you to react extremely quickly to turns and obstacles. Braking is actually a very important tool. You'll basically always want to be dabbing the brake into corners so that you can make it through without colliding with the barricades and losing speed. Interestingly, Combat Cars circuits contain 4 laps to finish, but they're designed in a way that would be impossible for them to actually loop. There's too much verticality to them, so they would never join up with the start-finish straight. It's an odd choice that doesn't really affect gameplay, but it bothers a really specific part of my brain and I can't move past it. They can't be laps if the circuit doesn't loop. Call them splits! Sorry. Winning races or placing high on the podium earns you money, which can be used in between races to enhance your handling, top speed, acceleration and special ability. Once again, if you want to win, then make sure you focus on top speed and acceleration to be in with a chance of beating the very aggressive AI. This is all fairly standard stuff for racing games of this vintage, and while Combat Cars has the look and feel of a Micro Machines game, the Between Race store definitely harkens back to stuff like Sega's Hot Rod or Super Off-Road by Leyland Corporation. It's not doing anything particularly special, but it's doing a competent enough job of it all to make the game entertaining. Where it goes above and beyond is in the sound department. There aren't many Mega Drive games with a soundtrack that goes as hard as this, but Combat Cars absolutely goes for it. The bass is so filthy, the drum samples are so heavy, and quite frankly the whole thing could be best described as overcompensation. What a soundtrack. So yeah, Combat Cars. This is a very run-of-the-mill driving game that is responsive to play and definitely offers racing fans a good time, but you've done it all before in other better games. Despite having a vehicular combat slant to the action, it's actually a completely perfunctory inclusion that you're better off avoiding in favour of going really fast. And that sort of defeats the point, doesn't it? The game is called Combat Cars after all. Oh well, at least the soundtrack slaps.